You win, you go to Vancouver. You lose, you're out of the tournament.
Yep. So drop one, Canyon Network. Here we go. 2 European teams going head to head to see who gets to go to Vancouver. Let's do it.
I can only hope that this goes to 3 drops. Maybe a little, a little caster bias there, trying to get the best that we can get.
Oh, we love that. We love 2-1 decisions. I love.
Can
close
you imagine
matches.
a drop 3? These 2 teams deciding who gets to go on to the Vancouver finals.
I want it so bad. Make it happen. Somebody make it happen.
We'll have to see how drop 1 goes first.
Exactly. And we've seen that before where somebody's had like a decisive win in drop 1 and then a decisive loss in drop 2. It can happen. It has happened. And when you're playing at this level, the slightest mistake can cause such a huge shift in results. So Lizzie in that Supernova heading over to Junkyard. Looks like he's going to do some ER large laser overwatch. Funky Cat in that Executioner. This is a very, very familiar sight coming out of Eon Synergy here. What is RJF doing to respond to that?
And RJF sent 2 Hunchbacks down towards Kappa again, but this time it looks like they're trading early on. Both Hunchbacks look to be the standard ER large medium laser builds rather than taking a brawl mech, but they're spreading out down that Kappa line. We've seen a couple teams do that.
So the Executioner seems to specialize in robbing this area from these mechs here. They've got the Summoner, but then they've also got the Supernova swinging way wide. That Supernova might be able to hold him down. He's way back, but he might be able to hold off that corner. If that Executioner decides he wants to trade in on Den Airwalker, that Supernova alone might be able to lock that area down. And there we go. We got those shots coming in on that Executioner. Who won in that trade? Looks like Terra's down to 96%. Funky Cat down to 82, but a great strike kind of evened it up right there. Terrace definitely has to watch that. But really, that Supernova is keeping Den Airwalker's flank safe. Oh, a nice strike right across that Summoner.
We've kind of got 2 separate fights here, a 4v4 on the Kappa Sigma line, a 4v4 on the Gamma Epsilon line.
Pelmashek and Buria pressing way up. They got Kappa under control. Looks like they're actually starting to pull back now, and they might try to just control the Cap from distance while continuing to trade. But they got a little bit of pressure and a UAV up on that north side. Can they get out without taking too much damage?
A lot of strikes coming down on this Epsilon corner. I don't know if I really like trading from that Epsilon hill too much, where Eon Synergy is sitting right now, but if they can hold it, that's not a bad spot to be in. RJF is up on the caps right now because they haven't taken Epsilon.
Yeah, they haven't had the opportunity to. Really, that Supernova and Nick Drezery can kind of lock that point down if they attempted to cap it. Another strike coming out. Let's follow the plane in. Nice hit
needs to be
right
careful
across
here,
Lizzie.
and Nomer pushing up on these Wolfhounds from danger close, getting a big shot in on the Red Goes to Fasta. There is some really aggressive play.
Ooh, nice strike there as well. So they've got the Summoner and the Hunchback 2C actually pulled out, and now they've got essentially a 4v2, but the Hunchback and the Summoner are starting to respond. Buria getting another good burn on Dared. They cost him a lot of
very
damage.
hurt, but here comes the Summoner and the Hunchback for Eon as well, coming up over the hill. There is a UAV up, so they should see these guys coming.
Ooh, big burn on Igor there.
Play this.
They're starting to add this up on Igor. Those Wolfhounds are in pretty dire straits, but the Summoner and the Hunchback is right there. They're still getting burns in. This is going to get bloody really fast. Nomer is kind of overstepping it a bit, and he got burned pretty hard. Here comes another strike. Just misses
Nomer. And while that's
Nomer.
going on, the Summoners are moving up for RJF as well.
Pelmashek and Buria trying to get some shots in there, but Terminator gets
Igor
taken down.
gets the kill.
Nomer is not long either. He's in dire straits, and they're getting right up on him. He goes down. They can't just throw the Arctic Cheetahs away like this. They lost the fight, but those Wolfhounds might get in on them. Do they stay and try and do something, or do they run? If they run, they're going to get chased down, though. It's going to be savage.
In the meantime, their Epsilon mechs are actually winning this engagement, I think, right here against the rest of the mechs. Lizzie in the Supernova is down to 38%.
They're light. Buria's getting right into it.
The canyon.
And he gets taken out, and Pelmashek. Both Cheetahs are down. 4 mechs dead now for RJF. These remaining mechs have a tall order, but they've dealt quite a bit of damage. They just can't afford bad trades at this point, and those other mechs are going to come join the fight here, 8v4.
And Nick Jazari is out in the open right now. Does get a good strike on Legolas there, but they're grouped up again, and they're down on the mid-level here. They don't have good angles, and Eon's just going to surround them, I think.
They're going to start putting their freshest mechs forward, I think, here. But Terrace in the Supernova able to land a kill on Funky Cat. The Executioner has gone down. Hubert, though, putting some damage in on RJF Volkadev. I think, yeah, Zelaglock gets a pop in on his backside. They're starting to get bold. They're starting to push this, and they're gonna wrap this up right here.
There's not enough mechs remaining right now for RJF.
That light fight really, I mean, any advantage they had on Epsilon Corner just fell apart as soon as they lost 4 mechs and didn't take anybody down with them. Eon Synergy doing a fantastic job keeping their mechs healthy, and that is it on drop 1 for RJFS. That was actually relatively close considering, but that failure of the lights and mediums, it really cost them big time. They dealt a lot of damage.
Time and time again in this tournament. Eon Synergy with those light pilots, that is literally their strongest suit right now, is the light fight. You've got to try and think about how you're going to handle that, and I'm not sure, a direct combat is going to do it for you.
At the same time, basically, I think they had an opportunity. They could have taken those lights out on that corner, but they had their hunchbacks in tow, playing extremely passively on that corner. Maybe if they got around and started putting out the fire on Dered got burned pretty hard. He lived to the end, but he got burned pretty hard. They could have capitalized on that because the hunchback and the summoner, I believe, that were responding back to help the lights, they were a few steps away. They went back to trade some more, leaving those 2 Wolfhounds on their own, and there was an opportunity there, I believe, for maybe that group of 4 to get some damage done. But the longer they sat on that corner, those trade mechs came back to help, made it a 4v4, and then ultimately Eon Synergy outmaneuvering
them, and they don't have enough guns to shoot everyone who's shooting back at them.
Yeah, and so that's, heat cap is a currency, and so you've got somebody with twice the bankroll of you, it's gonna quickly go against you unless you can start putting mechs down quickly. Take a look at the map here. Basically, RJF committing to a heavy Kappa and then a past Kappa kind of presence here, with the Wolfhounds essentially just operating in this region, but they sent their other guys back across the bridge to continue trading in. The Executioner up on Epsilon Corner, and then some guys further back, just a general trade line. We had the Supernova way back in E5. We had a guy trading up in here. And then I think we had somebody trading over Theta at some point.
No, I think both Supernovas were... I think the other Supernova was like Echo 4, actually.
Okay, so further back
somewhere. Yeah, he was back here.
So generally, this region was their trade, and they seemed to be doing all right around that Epsilon. They actually pushed them back around the corner, made Eon Synergy kind of retreat into a reception line, which isn't a terrible thing, but generally just receiving. Yeah. I like the push by their heavier lance, but you've got to get some kills, in that 4v4 Kappa fight. The thing that jumps out at me the most here is that they had this aggressive thing over Kappa, and that's fine. I think they could have had their lights doing that, but they could have been having their hunchbacks up trading as well. And that's something we saw Blackwatch do, where they had their guys close, but they weren't necessarily sitting there. Essentially, these guys all sitting in a group of 4 underneath Kappa. If you're gonna do that, you've got to commit to using those 4 mechs to get a kill. Get an ambush, whatever, on those 2 Wolfhounds here. But the 2 Hunchbacks were kind of just defending Kappa. I mean, you can't allocate an entire lance to defend a point while you've got people dying in the backfield. Get nothing out of it. Yeah. So if they had those Hunchbacks over there, that's fine, but they needed to be up here trading or somewhere up here putting shots downfield, because they're just basically chillaxing down in the Kappa region here. They're not outputting anything, and the rest of their team is starting to hemorrhage on that. And then if you're going to have all your guys over there, they need to win the fight. You know, you've got the
Yeah.
Wolfhounds coming in, you've got these guys returning, and then you've got just this hard push around the corner, and you get just spun up on, backed up around the corner, retreating, and then shredded down. If you're gonna do that, you gotta be guaranteed to win the fight, and you gotta be getting those hunchbacks up and trading the entire time, trying to find angles to force the enemy into something. But not a huge fan of just the general keep your head down situation there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you absolutely.
And we didn't watch them 100% the entire time, but it just seemed like those hunchbacks did not contribute much.
I mean, when they were aggressive, it was, I don't want to say too little, but it was definitely too late. It's kind of the moral of that, right? They started pushing around that corner beyond Kappa, but at that point, here comes the Summoner and the Hunchback for Eon, giving support.
Yeah, if they went in a little bit quicker, they could have rushed those Wolfhounds out. Maybe that would have given them the opportunity to start maybe pop-tarting up and hitting those approaching, the Summoner and stuff like that. But basically, by sitting down and waiting, it allowed those guys to respond, because they knew that those lights were up there trading. I don't know if they knew the hunchbacks were there, but they knew that the lights were at least up front trading and getting some good solid burns in on Red. They were winning a little bit of that Arctic Cheetah trade into the Wolfhound. It was looking pretty good, but they continued doing just the same old, holding that point down, and then, they got jumped and shredded down. No answer for it. 4-0 on that engagement, which then leads to an 8-4 engagement down the road, and it was just no good. So RJFS, that's something I think they can turn around, though. That's not a big change. I don't think that's a huge change. It's not like a fundamental change. That's a tweak. And if RJF can tweak, I still think that they have an opportunity here against Eon Synergy. They just need to execute. So just waiting on everybody getting readied up. We are going back to
Eon Synergy looks like they're swapping out a player right now.
Awesome. But once again, fantastic crowd out there watching the action. Glad all you guys could join us. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. And once again, we're looking to see which of these two teams will be going to Vancouver for MechCon 2017. To basically fight against EMP and 228 Blackwatch in the finals live in December. And you guys can go see it. Buy your tickets, get to MechCon. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Last year was awesome. It was fantastic. The food was great. The people were great. The stuff you got to do was great. The environment, just the feeling of the place, being surrounded by mech warriors, was amazing. It's something I haven't had the opportunity to experience before, and I'm glad that I was there.
And let's just recap what we're going to have there, right? You're going to have the top 3 teams in the game from all around the world. They're going to get together. 2 of them we already know, 228 and EMP. Now we got to decide the result of this game, who the third team's going to be. The top 3 teams competing for the 2017 World Championships. You're going to have the playable demo for MechWarrior 5. You're going to have Harebrained Schemes in their BattleTech game. You're going to have tabletop games there. You're going to have Solaris tournaments. You're going to have the people, the fans, Alex Iglesias, all the guys from Catalyst Game Labs. It is an awesome time.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. It's in a bigger venue now. I'm sure the venue they've picked probably has even better acoustics and all that stuff, so I can't wait to see how the caster bench is set up and everything, and just see I just love just walking out on stage and just seeing just all these people and stuff. It's just such a fantastic experience, and just the energy in the place. And when big plays go down, there is nothing like when something big happens, hearing a crowd roar. And I cannot wait to see that happen again. It's going to be so amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, it looks like they're still working on getting their player in there. Once again, we've got giveaways rolling. We've been giving a ton of stuff away. And so to get into the giveaway, all you got to do is participate in chat. Just start cheering for somebody, and you will be automatically entered into the roulette for the drawings, and we'll be doing those at the end of this matchup. which they've got their pilot in here, and everybody's getting readied up. We should be launching shortly. It's going to be good. All right. Come on, we can do it.
RJF needs a win here.
Yeah, if RJF loses this, they are going home. If Eon loses this, they've still got one more chance, taking it into Game 3. But RJF has been playing really well. And like I said, they just made some mistakes. But that's something that can be turned around just through a conversation, just through just a change in expectations of a drop caller. I mean, there's... they can fix that on the fly coming into drop 2, and we've seen it happen before in spectacular fashion.
And that's kind of what separates the good teams from the great, right? The ability to come back and say, you know what, that didn't work. We're going to try something else. And with no practice, no drop time, just get out there and win it.
Absolutely. And sometimes you see it go absolutely horribly, and then it all falls apart. But that's the risk you take when you come to play on this level.
Been there, done that.
Absolutely. Oh, man. We're just about ready. The last guy getting readied up right now, and we will be cruising in. Once again, if you guys are interested in competitive play, get out to the competitive forum on MWOmercs.com. Post up in the hiring hall or check out some of the teams that are currently recruiting for competitive play. We've got a lot of exciting third-party leagues and competitions out there. Really adds an extra level to the excitement of MechWarrior Online. Get in there, get trained up, get excited, and then get into the World Championships. Hopefully they do it again next year. I really do. I hope there's a World Championships 2018. I hope we're back again next year, and I cannot wait to see how many new teams we've got up and coming to duke it out. And
I've really enjoyed the updated format for the semifinals. Instead of having the 3 regions and top 5 from each region, just get the top 12 and put them together. It makes scheduling a little bit more difficult. Makes for some long days, but at the same time, you are seeing the top 12, period, playing each other. It makes for some great matches.
No doubt about it, and that makes MechCon that much more exciting because you've got the top 3 teams together in the same building at the same time on LAN. There's no like, oh, well, they're only here because they are in this region. None of that going on at all. This is the top 3 teams in the world. And RJF here has to win this if they want to be one of those teams. But Eon up 1-0 on the series. Let's get in and see what happens. They've switched sides. So we're seeing Terrace Kedic now in an Executioner. Of his own. Large pulse, heavy, large laser, 5 ER Meads. That's the same. They got 2 of them. They've got 2 of those mechs. And a linebacker. Holy cow. I think we're going to have ourselves a bit of a push deck here. That's what we were saying with RJF, try something different. Well, this is the different right here.
Are we going to see an Epsilon push? See, the thing is, though, they've got to get some fire in early. Otherwise... Ian's going to know something's up.
If they get discovered, though, it's going to be savage. I mean, if those linebackers kind of give up their presence really early on here, that
and
could
Eon's very spread out.
So Del Red moving up for Theta. They're getting the cap on Theta.
Lizzie in a Mauler at Bucket Hill has a wide view on Epsilon. He's going to be able to see as this Executioner comes around the corner.
Here we go. And they might be able to catch Lizzie out if they go aggressive.
Push. The Executioners are going way wide. I'm not sure I like that move.
I don't know. They're trying to get in on that Supernova. They can't just leave him alone. But the Hunchbacks need to get up into the fight here. They can't sit back. And a bit of a traffic jam there. Den Airwalker and Nick in those linebackers kind of colliding a little bit, but those linebackers moving up very fast as those Executioners close on that Mauler MX-90 sitting in the backside. It wasn't even a Supernova, but RJF Volkadev going toe-to-toe against Lizzie, who's in that ballistic mech, and he is doing quite a bit of work on that Executioner. They are working on that Lizzie, though, and they take him out.
Lizzie goes down,
main
but
body
they need
coming
to keep
on
moving
through
quick because the rest of the mechs are running basically away from this engagement for Eon.
Which is some of them are getting him in their backfield, though. The Cheetahs now getting in on the backfield of Qbert and Legolas. They're starting to do some work. But the Executioner is now starting to cross that gap, getting some burns in on Funky Cat in his own Executioner there. Cubert now is getting isolated in the pit with 2 Arctic Cheetahs on his tail
Funky
here.
Cat goes down. A good strike, and then the linebackers take him down with a nice shot.
Pelmashek is working on Cubert, but he's not quite able to. There it is, a team kill. Red kills Cubert with that strike, but Terminator goes down to Igor. Now it looks like RJF getting up on,
as well on
trying to get
linebacker.
Legolas. They have Zelaglock in the backfield,
They gotta get some fire on Zelaglock here. He's
I don't
just
know if
sitting
they
in the
know he's there
backfield,
yet.
away.
Yeah, they know he's there now. They're getting on there now. So they've got 2 mechs in their backfield, 1 on the left at Radio Tower, and then the Summoner. They're playing like a 3rd grade soccer team, but they're at least up on kills for now. But they need to finish Zelaglock off quickly if they want to turn around and get the job done. Buria finishes them off. Now they're moving back. They're working on those Wolfhounds. Pelmashek getting up on O'Neill.
Stay alive while they get these Wolfhounds down.
If he can win this fight one-on-one against O'Neill, it's going to be huge.
I think Buria just got legged.
Trying to keep an eye in on the backfield. The Wolfhound is... Colonel O'Neill able to get a kill on Pelmashek. That's huge. Igor getting in on the backfield here. He's able to get Nick, and it's starting to swing back in the other direction. The leg Burrier isn't able to do much. That's not good for RJF. This might have... They had a really good attempt there, but this might start falling apart really quick here. Wolfhound is booking it. Nomer getting taken out by Colonel O'Neill. He is doing work right now.
Clutch.
He's doing quite a bit of work. That kill on Pelmashek was huge. If Pelmashek won that exchange, that could have gone the other way.
Or even just distracted them long enough.
They've got an Executioner who... he's at 61%. He's not wide open.
Legged. I mean, he
lost a laser.
Eon going for the cap strat, and this is going to be over.
Now, Terrace might be able to do some work if he can get some solid burns in, but he's outside of his optimal range here, so he's not going to be able to trade at this distance.
Yeah, and O'Neill's just going to wear him down. He's got the range on him. They've got the speed to go cap. They've got a 3 cap. They're going to be pulling up a 4 cap soon.
They have time, though. Terrace, if he can land some really good burns and isolate targets here, he might be able to pull something off. He's got to get into ER medium range, though. He can't be using 1 large pulse laser at extreme range, and he's kind of setting himself up in a way where it's going to be very difficult for him to trade right now. And they're really keeping their distance here. He's trying to get in on Igor. That would be a pretty big kill if he can do it, but Igor is not going to stick around and allow him to do it. He's leading Terrace right where he wants him, and Terrace really has no response at that range. He's trying to get down in the pit, but
O'Neill's just going to wail away on him.
There's not much he can do. I mean, he's chasing, but it's not going to add up, unfortunately for him, to a victory. He's got to try and close and get gank kills or something. Maybe if he can get a burn on Red, but I don't think Red's even going to stick around. As soon as that cap flips blue, he's out. Terrace might be able to get up and over the top, potentially, to get the gank, knowing that it's not flashing anymore, and I think he sees that. He's going to try and cut him off here. Might have an opportunity on Red.
Going to get a shot in on him just a second here.
This might be an opportunity right here for him to get a kill.
Red playing that hill.
Halfway to victory.
And Terrace isn't going to be able to bend down, is he?
Oh, and he goes down. Last one remaining is Buria.
Nice play by Red
going for the Gamma Cap, but he is lagged, and this is going to go, for sure, in favor of Eon Synergy. A good attempt there. He's trying to kill himself. He doesn't have enough lasers to do it yet.
Override shutdown.
I don't think those machine guns are going to overheat him.
That's not how you cap. That's not how you cap. What are you doing? Oh, he's only got 2 lasers left. There we go. So a little seppuku by Buria to finish it off, but Eon Synergy takes it 8-5, and they will be moving on. They have made it to Vancouver. Oh, man.
There we go. So 2 of the 3 teams from last year's finalists continuing their dominance. Eon Synergy, Imperial, moving on to Vancouver to play the newcomer, 228 Blackwatch, who had a pretty good run last year in the regionals in the North American region. But there you have it. There's your 3 teams.
Congratulations to everyone. What a finish. RJF, I mean, they had that last one. It just got away from them. Eon was able to scatter. Some big fights didn't go the way that I think they wanted. Pelmashek really needed to put down Colonel O'Neill. That would have been a huge victory. But Colonel O'Neill, crack shot, just taking that Arctic Cheetah out. Big finish there for him.
And smart play by Eon Synergy when you're up against a push deck that's being very aggressive. Spread out. Get away from each other. Make them run a long way to get to you. And that's what they had to do, and they were able to wear them down, even without the numbers advantage.
Absolutely. And it really, if RGF killed any of those mechs a little bit quicker, if they focused a little bit better, if they took some mechs out of the picture, and then protected themselves in the process, if they got Zelaglock out of the way because he was getting a lot of back hits in, if any of that stuff was different, that could have swung. I mean, it was really a solid match, a solid showing by RJF. It just came up a little short in that drop 2. You could tell they wanted it. But Eon Synergy just being consistent, coming in strong, and finishing off RJF in a 2-0 series and securing their place in Vancouver. There are a couple matches left to be played to decide the seeding for that bracket, but that is not going to go on today. We will have those casted obviously in the future, but that was the question that people wanted to see answered. Who are we going to see at MechCon? And you've got your answer now. Eon Synergy, Imperial, and 228 IBR Blackwatch. And it is going to be awesome. It is going to be a fantastic series. Cannot wait to see it.